Hey everybody. So yeah, I switched over to this voice analyzer thing. I was pleasantly surprised again about how nice the tabs and everything work, and how good it functions. I definitely feel like when I first started this, I thought in my mind this was like a one, possibly two session effort, and now I think we're like 8 sessions in, 9 sessions in, and I feel like when you're dealing with these tabs and when you're dealing with the routing in general, that happens a lot. I know that tons of times I've been in like meetings where somebody will be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to set up routing, blah, blah, blah. And, we have like a 3 week sprint, and I'll do that on the first couple days, and then I'll pick up another story. And then, like, literally at the end of the 3 week sprint, they're like, yeah, I'm gonna work on it again. I'm going to, sorry, this one's going to split into the next sprint. And they've been working on routing for 3 sprints, for the entire sprint, and then all kinds of other code has changed. And they are on the verge, and they thought they had it working, but it had a bug, and blah, 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 blah. And it's just kind of like, it's so much harder than you predict. And I don't know why. There's just certain things that you just underestimate. And routing, especially when it comes to interacting with some other thing on the, which in this case is tabs, is one of those things where it's just really difficult. Um, and then when you do finally get it working, it's usually like not a pretty implementation. And you're like, oh man, I'll never get this through PR. And that is an important thing, like you have to be able to get stuff through PR, or you might as well have not done it. And you do sometimes want to just kind of go to your product manager or your BA and tell them, hey, I have this working, but the other developers aren't going to approve it. And they can bully the other sometimes they can bully the other developers. Typically developers are kind of like the sort of personalities that they don't really like, they hate being bullied. So that's usually not a good idea. um, Usually it's a lot easier to just um, kind of build out some stuff so that it all kind of makes sense. And it makes so much sense that uh, they sort of just approve it. um, and um, and that's important. That's an important skill. So sometimes it's like you can just do things the right way. There's a right way and a wrong way to do it, and you just do it, and that's the ideal. That's best for everybody. Sometimes there is no right way of doing it, or possibly the right way of doing it is just not practical, and then that's when things get interesting. Um, I think this kind of follows under the make it look right. It's still the same god awful sort of, hacky's not the right word, but just not a good feeling implementation. It's still that way, but we can make it look good, and so that when someone reads it, it just sort of all makes sense, and hopefully they just approve it. Now I'm the one who approves my stuff, so it's gonna get approved. But I do want to kind of do this in a way that I'll feel good about it. So I'm going to make my interfaces. And I need to I need to put this in the interfaces uh, because um, the thing is I'm going to need it in the in the app and in the services. Um, and so it's just probably going to be easier. I could import it from the service directly, but and then this is like another thing. Like when they see that, oh, now we have this interfaces folder. Oh, that makes so much. That makes sense. Uh, then like that also, I think, gives you sort of some credibility and improves the likelihood of an approval on your thing. So I don't actually know for sure if this is how you have it create an interface. And I know whenever you do have it create an interface, all it literally just um, what is going on here? It's like I have two. Okay. Yeah. When I create an interface, all it literally will do is just create a folder and a file, an empty file. So I think it actually makes an export, and I think I can do this. I believe this is exactly the same thing. So let's just go ahead and try that, just so we can get a little smarter. Um, and like if like I'm sitting here doing this and I'm just like, I don't know, I think this works or whatever. And I know that like when I was younger, like that, kind of going through that sort of experience, and I wouldn't want to do that on camera because I would find it a little embarrassing. But like a couple years ago, it just dawned on me that when you find that you're feeling like embarrassed in the way that like you would have been embarrassed like in a classroom when you were called up by a teacher, or if you needed to ask a question but you thought everybody else already knew the answer and you were going to feel stupid, that is actually what getting smarter feels like. And you will have a much more, you will get a lot smarter a lot faster if you grow to like that feeling. So if this fails, it fails. It's not a big deal. It's not a reflection on me. If it succeeds, it succeeds. That's good. Either way, we'll have learned something. So that's a good thing. npm. So, but you also like have to balance that with like you don't want to be a huge distraction to, like if you're in a class and you just don't understand anything and you want to ask 1,000 questions, you can just really mess things up for everybody. So you should be sort of respectful too. It's a balance. Everything in life is a balance. So let's see if that works. Oh, that did not work. What is your problem? In faces, looks like I misspelled it. And hopefully we have an interfaces folder and a file in there. Yep, so it creates one for us. I actually have two types. I don't even, so I'm not even going to put interfaces in there. I'm going to put types in there. And these are my two types. And I want to export both of those to be used. So I'm just going to get rid of that because I don't believe you need that. I do believe you need the export keyword export, and maybe adding a space between them. So basically we have two route indexes. Maybe it should have said folder, I don't know, but our tab, and then we have our route values types. Okay, so let's go ahead and get rid of our app component. And then just hope that we get the blue. It's got the blue. That means that it just brought that in. That happened up there. It's good to pay attention. It's good to pay close attention to that. It doesn't take any more time to pay attention. Like you will, it's pretty easy to kind of just click the first thing, but it really, like if you pay attention, it won't take any longer, and you won't accidentally import something from the wrong place. And so that worked just perfect. So now we want to get a function. We want a function that returns for an index, returns a route. So what are we on time? We're at 10 minutes, 9:30. That's not bad. So in our VA service, we want to say get route for index. Sounds like a good route for index. And that is going to take a number, so we'll call it the index. And that is a number, and it is an umber. A number. number, and it's going to return a string. And for now, and it's not actually going to return a string. It's going to return what type? A value type, values type. Let's see. So it returns one of these, a route value type with an R, and I think it's a capital R. Okay, it's not letting me. It's just automatically. What the heck? Yeah, you can't find it because that's not what it's called. Interfaces VA route values type. Got our blue. Yeah, that was weird. And then basically we are going to basically return, I guess we need our little and we'll just name it like values dictionary. Keep locking my let's just call it URL. And we aren't actually taking a number in, we are taking a route index type in. You know, I was talking about like how in my other thing, how so much of this is muscle memory, but I guess that's not completely true. Some of it is you just kind of figure it out on the fly, and then you return, and then you don't really remember. You know, like as soon as you figured it out, you just move on with your life. I want to. I don't know what I should do there. So it's let me do that. It's kind of surprising me that it doesn't make me say as unknown and all of that. I think I could, alternatively, I could declare this as a, like I could say that this is a number route value type lookup or something like that, but I think this is probably good enough. And so now over in we need to pull in our navigation service, inject our navigation service into our app component. And do we already have, yeah, we already have the inject keyword. Oh, we already have it here. So, and this is the down here. So it doesn't want me to be able to do that, and I think it's because of the, you know, any kind of number can come from the tab change. So we have to assure it that we're only going to ever allow that, which basically means we don't get compiler Uh, so if you were to add a new tab, there's no compiler protection. You could get a number that isn't in there, and we can. I don't think there is any way to avoid that. I don't think that the folks over at Accenture, oh my gosh, at Angular, at Google, have that sort of strong typing between the component TypeScript, but they might, and I guess we might as well see what happens if I say this maybe. I think it's a lot to ask of them, but looks like I can just do that. It would be interesting to see if I were to add another tab, if that would get caught, if it would catch it. So, oh, so it did catch it over here. It said, hey, um, yeah. See, I don't know. I don't think we can declare it in this place. So, yeah, it did let us the IDE let it happen, but the compiler failed it because it was like, hey, event can. There's nothing that prevents that event from being something beyond that. Okay, so now let's change our tab, and everything is working. All right, so all that is left now is to modify this thing to this thing here, get rid of this, modify this thing, we need to add a new function to the navigation service and do that. I will do that next time as this video has gone a little long. I definitely am looking forward to doing that commit and being all done with routing. Kind of planted into my head that it's very easy to underestimate any sort of routing commitments. So, at work, if they go, hey, we need to go figure out this routing thing, I definitely need to at least put out like, hey, this is going to take longer than we think, because, there's just a lot of moving parts that need to be gotten right. Anyways, happy coding, everybody. Bye.